Okay, so I'm going to clean some power heads real quick. I've got a gyre I'm going to clean for you to show, just kind of demonstrate this. So this is what I'm going to be using, this plain muriatic acid. This little pan is not the best because it's so shallow and small. It's better if you do like a bucket where you can actually have some room. So I'm going to pour this in. I'm not all getting technical. I've got about a half a gallon of just regular tap water in there. And you see I just poured maybe a pint or so. The stronger you make it, the quicker it'll work, but this is going to work pretty quick regardless of how strong you make it. So I've just got to be careful because this is such a small container. If I was doing this in a larger container, it wouldn't be such a big deal. So my tank is notorious for building up coralline algae. And as you can see, this gyre, I haven't cleaned it in almost 2 months now, and it's just completely solid. And this is like super thick. I mean, it's not your, just a light coating. So what I'm gonna do, put it right in there. I'm gonna hook my magnet up. Oh. All right. So we got our pump in there. So as you can see, it started immediately foaming up. So this process only takes, depending on the strength of your acid, 2-3 minutes at the most. So I'm going to real quick turn my gyres on. I've got them set to the lowest setting possible. So Alexa, turn powerhead on.
A few things share the name powerhead. Which one did you want?
56 powerheads. Alright, so sorry about that, Alexa. I was confused as which one instead of turning everything on, but we got her on now, and I am gonna just let this run for, let's say, 1 minute and 2 minutes, and see how well it is. So now, it's kind of hard to see because of the bubbles and the wave action, but the way this typically works, and it's based again on how strong your solution is that as soon as it goes into the acid will eat off the live tissue, so the purple will actually turn to just a soft, mushy, almost like I say, like a green hair allergy. It's just a mushy mess, and you can wipe that off, and then it'll have the white skeleton underneath it. Like if I pull that out now, let it sit for a little bit, you'll just see the white underneath it. So what I'm going to do is let this run for about a minute, and then I'm going to grab a brush, and then I'll just kind of wipe that thin slimy pink surface off, because it kind of makes a film over and protects the skeleton underneath. So once you wipe that off, then it exposes it, and then it can eat in a little bit more. Now I will say I do have my ceiling fan on, and I have my patio doors open. As you've seen, when I first poured the acid into the water, and they always say you pour acid into water, never pour water into acid, but it smoked up a little bit. Those fumes are very caustic. You wouldn't want to breathe those at all. So, using a well-ventilated area, you want to have your eye protection, gloves, and all that kind of stuff. So I just wiped to that thick, hard coralline algae. and looks like maybe 80% of it just wiped off that easy. No hard scrubbing, no overnight vinegar baths. And I believe it's been about 2 minutes now. So now I kind of opened up all the skeletal structure that was underneath being protected by the biological film. So I'm going to turn the power heads off real quick and we'll pull them out and take a look and see how it looks. Since I started this video, it's only been a total of 5 minutes. And I've been going super slow because I'm in such a small container and I'm talking and explaining it to it. This really would have been a 2-minute process so far. Alexa, turn power heads off. All right, so you can see right there where it had all the purple. And then, I mean, even what little bit of skeletal is super soft. And again, if you were in like a 5-gallon bucket where you didn't have to worry about splashing and could get this all, just kind of scrub it real hard, real quick. But again, because I'm over this little bitty clear tub, I wanted to use this clear tub so that you could see how well this stuff works. So that is pretty much completely clean, just like a brand new one. All the coralline algae completely gone off of it. What I typically do now, stick them in a little container of some tap water and let them run for a second just to make sure. But even though the muriatic acid is not, it's just like we put soda ash in our tanks, just a couple of drops of muriatic acid isn't like putting silver or heavy metal. It just is going to lower the pH. So if I was to stick the power heads in now, because my pH is probably up, it's been overnight, so it wouldn't hurt them. However, I don't want to do that, so I'll just rinse them off with some fresh water, stick them back in the tank, and they're good as new.